What's going on, guys? Over here in San Diego, getting ready for day 2 of my coach Frank Kern in his second class, and I just wanted to cover some of the information that he was going over in class on day 1. And well, it's kind of enlightening and kind of like, let's start from the beginning all at the same time, right? So basically, the stuff that he was going over wasn't really all the stuff that I wanted to hear, yet it is what it is. So he was basically saying that the internet is saturated with a bunch of garbage people, and in order for real people to succeed, providing value is what's going to help people get to the next level. And they're so beat up by all these different things that are on the internet, and what can you do to go past that? So let's talk about some of the things that could be bothering you or just people in general. Because he was, you wake up, you scroll your phone, you go eat lunch, you're scrolling on your phone. Even people that are dating on date night or whatever, they're sitting at a table and they're just going over their phone. And I guess YouTube, he was saying, that has taken over TV. That's what he was saying. He was saying that people watch YouTube on a big screen, like in the living room or something like that, more than anybody watches like regular broadcast television. So YouTube is taking over. And with that, he was saying that the more value you put out, the more the algorithm will show it to more people, because you're actually providing value versus all the garbage that is out there today. And he was he was just talking about all the different garbage, and I wrote down my notes over here. And it's probably nothing new to you. It'll be like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? So basically, he was talking about influencer blindness. So there's a lot of influencers out there. And he was saying that marketers are actually looked at as like, lower than politicians. Like, nobody likes a marketer. Okay, so what do you do with that? And then also, he was saying there's so many people out there that are driving in Lamborghinis, and girls that are showing body parts. And then it's like, well, you've seen this all before, and what makes somebody else different, right? Like, how can you provide value to somebody who's looking to get to that next level, and yet kind of already burnt out on all the different garbage that's out there? And basically, he was saying influencers, they'll find somebody who's really popular and then just copy whatever that person's doing. And it becomes a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And in college, I learned that, when you take a tape and you copy to another tape, it's degeneration. And then, well, we're at where we're at now, right? So when it comes to, sales, AI is not going to be, a way to help you. Unless you know how to use it right. So a lot of, you'll lose somebody's trust if you're using AI to create a human connection. So somebody will feel tricked and deceived, and that's not really going to help out anybody anyway. Somebody just wants to be listened to. They want to find out, that somebody cares about their issues and that you have the answer to get them to the next step. So with that in mind, let's provide value with the channel moving forward. And a little bit about me was that I wasn't empowered. Like, I was working for a talent agency, and I was doing it because I needed the money to pay the bills. And the talent agency, they would tell you that they cared about your stance or where you're at, but really they just wanted to get you to do whatever they want to do. And it wasn't really empowering, because at any point somebody could pull my strings, and then there I'd be. So how do I become empowered, or how do I break free from a life that I'd spent, 15 years building up to, right? So the way I had it in my mind, which probably wasn't the greatest formula, was that the harder that I work, the more money I'll receive. And when I was working for a talent agency, that actually was proving to work, until it wasn't. And then when it wasn't working, I started bringing this information to my talent agency and showing them that I was working more, getting paid less, and even getting paid less throughout the year. And that's when I found out what gaslighting was, because this person told me it was all in my head. So I knew it wasn't all in my head, because I had the paperwork to prove that I it was right. So with that information, I thought I could outpower somebody by getting them to think or see my way, even with all the information that I had. So, okay, well, we're here. Got super depressed, and then I ended up turning into answers, looking for answers. And I found answers in NLP. And for those of you that don't know what NLP is, it's called Neuro Linguistic Programming. And basically, I fell in love with language patterns, and then I understood that the language patterns were connected to the thought process of another person. So once, it's like a ball of yarn or maybe like a sweater where you get that little string and then you pull on it, you keep getting more information, you keep getting more information. And then I was able to figure out emotional intelligence and how it works for my personality, because I'm, pretty aggressive. And I want to make sure that I do right for people that I work with, and yet I didn't understand what a win-win situation was. And then basically I was just being told to do something, and at the time I would leave a conversation just feeling like I was slighted, and I didn't know why or what that meant. And then when someone started breaking down NLP language patterns for me, the meta model, Ericksonian language, and then I just found light at the end of the tunnel, and it opened up so many other doors for me, because I was able to help people get over whatever hurdles they had in front of them. So when I was learning NLP, we were discussing all the different thought processes that go on in your mind. So if you're able to take those thought processes and re-look at them, and then reorganize them, and then restructure them, and then set up boundaries for what is right in your world, and then when you start holding those boundaries, some things will start to fall off, and then new opportunities will be able to come your way. And that was scary in the beginning, because I had one way of thinking for a very long time, and didn't realize that just abandoning that one way of thinking would lead to a new set of rules or a new life. And now I'm super sensitive when I hear a certain type of language patterns used by a narcissist, and maybe I haven't healed all the way, because I'm ready to put my fist up and I'll show you type attitude, and then realizing as I learn and grow that maybe just walking away is probably a better answer. And now that I have the skill set to understand, a thought process of another person, then I can then decide whether or not it's worth proceeding with or not. And I've used this rule moving forward, and the results I've gotten has been amazing. Like, I could show you the results of my sales with my company, how I was able to grow, and basically empowering other people to do the same is what I want to do. And the DJ company is great, and what else is there? What else can I do? And so back to the everybody's burnt out on influencers, right? Again, we have influencer blindness. Somebody comes to you, and then of course your first thing is going to be like, oh, you're just trying to slight me. Okay, there's a lot of garbage out there trying to get you to move in one certain direction, and if that isn't appealing, or maybe you've done a few things and gotten screwed over, that's a possibility too. And then of course we have everybody just copying everybody else to find out who can get clicks. And when I was learning from my coach, let's just say that he doesn't like to do anything that tears people apart. So within marketing, you can be super compelling, where you double down on one thing, and then you just get people to react to one way or the other, whatever that topic is. Anything in particular that you see online, whereas, oh, this person reacts to this person, and I just want you to watch what I'm doing, and it's basically for the benefit of the person who does a reaction video, or maybe they took some sort of podcasters content and tore it out of line, and all that stuff is just to get you to click on it and have some sort of reaction to it. And my coach, he doesn't like to use those tactics, because he feels it tears people apart. And he lives by the law of reciprocity, and basically you do good to others and others will do good to you, and that's the common law, like helping other people. So when it comes to giving value, it's basically what do you want to do in life, and what are you willing to do to get there? And I think most people would just like to have their problems resolved and live in a better life. Not to mean that you couldn't do bad things or things that you may not like if it's bringing you to a goal, the end goal. You always got to keep your end goal in front of you. So what is your North Star? And sometimes we have to do things that we don't like in the present to build a better future moving forward. That's why I was wearing the shirt yesterday that says 1% better every day. Now, my goal is to keep my company, sustain my company, and we'll see how far it goes, because I have a great team around me and I have no idea where that's going to lead to. And it's a work in progress every single day, making sure the team's trained and they're showing up to work on time, and making sure that we have happy customers and all leaning towards the same goal. And that's another thing as a leader. You want to make sure that your team is on the same track that you are. And learning what personalities don't work with my company was a process in its own as well, because once you set your boundaries and people don't respect your boundaries, or I didn't mean it this time, or you said that, and I didn't realize you meant that, and or you put me on this show, and I didn't realize I had to go to it, that kind of thing. So you hold your boundaries, and you basically just get rid of the people that don't work with your formula. And if you don't have a formula or a set of boundaries set in place to know what makes sense moving forward, especially with the different people that you have to work with, then that's something you might want to write out the vision, and then be in constant communication with the people around you. Now, we also want to make sure that you do what makes most sense to you, because whatever works, double down on that. I don't know where you're at the moment, but you might be looking around and deciding that moving forward may be different for you than it is for somebody else. So basically providing value to the people around you so that they can get where they're going, and then they won't feel like they're being led down a tunnel with no end. I know, that's basically what I got for right now, and that was day one. But he covered so many different things on just setting a foundation, and then now today, day two, let's go and implement those rules and move forward with the next step. So if you'd like to learn more of how I was able to build my business, how I was able to do one-on-one sales, and I've had 6-figure growth a few years. I broke my record for last year in sales, and it's a little bit of work every single day to make sure that you get to where you're going. So if you like the information that you see on the YouTube channel or in the Facebook group, or if you want to learn more about, basically building confidence and learning emotional intelligence to build your company, and sales and marketing and websites and all that stuff is fun too. So I find it fascinating, and I like leveling up, and I like helping people. So www.coachscottking, and I'll see you inside.